Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at AI and SEO. Specifically, we're going to be taking apart this piece from Search Engine Journal. It's called Cut the Malarkey. Speaking frankly about AI search and SEO, it was published December 19th, 2024, and it starts off with a pretty interesting hook, I think. An SEO school authority hackers just shut down, and they're blaming AI. So is AI really the villain in this story? Or is there a little more to unpack here?
I think there's always more to the story. I'm excited to dive in.
Me too. So the article highlights a few key factors in authority hackers' closure. One, Google updates. Two, the so-called AI content tsunami. And three, the ever-evolving search engine results pages. Let's start with those Google updates. I know those can be a little mysterious, even for people who've been doing SEO for a while.
Yeah, for sure. Google's algorithms are complex. But I think they're consistently trying to reward websites that offer genuine value to users. You know, when we look back at sites negatively impacted by these recent updates, they often share a common thread. They were built around keyword stuffing and copied content. They were really focusing on manipulating search engines rather than serving their audience.
So basically, they're playing the short game. Instead of focusing on what really matters, creating valuable content. So you're saying if we prioritize quality content that genuinely serves our audience, these updates shouldn't be a major threat.
Exactly. In fact, I think these updates can actually work in your favor by pushing your higher quality content higher.
Interesting. So it's almost like what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
But what about this AI content tsunami the article mentions? What does that even mean? Is it as scary as it sounds?
It's a catchy phrase. I think it points to maybe two main trends. First, we're seeing an increase in AI-generated content spam flooding the internet, which is just like low-quality content.
Like the digital equivalent of spam calls. No one wants that.
Exactly. But the other side of the tsunami is that we're seeing these AI-powered websites producing high volumes of genuinely decent content, potentially even outpacing human writers. Which raises the question, does the sheer volume of content translate to authority and visibility in the search results?
Yeah, does quantity win over quality now?
Well, that's where the sophistication of Google and these other search engines comes in. They've become incredibly adept at recognizing quality content, regardless of the source. So AI might generate a lot of content, but it's the quality and relevance that ultimately determines its value.
That's good to hear. It's not just a race to the bottom, but the article also talks about changes to the search engine results pages themselves, which, those are always evolving. What are the most significant shifts that we're seeing?
One of the most noticeable, I think, is the rise of AI overviews, or AIOs, which often appear at the top of the results page, summarizing information from different sources. But research from BrightEdge shows something interesting. The websites ranking high in these AI overviews are often the same ones already dominating organic search results.
So it's not really a new playing field, it's just a new way of presenting the old one.
It seems that way. You know, the biggest impact on search engine results pages, as the article points out, is the decline of those made for search engine websites. These sites built around keyword manipulation and thin content are being pushed further down the rankings.
So Google is cleaning up the internet a bit.
In a way, yeah.
But the article throws in another acronym here, AEO. What is that? And how does it relate to SEO?
AEO stands for Answer Engine Optimization. It's being touted as like the new SEO, specifically for optimizing for AI search engines like ChatGPT.
Okay, but is it really a distinct discipline?
I think that's the big question. Even AI-powered search engines, they rely on a search index and algorithms to rank content. Perplexity AI, for example, which is often touted as a true AI search engine. It still uses a version of Google's PageRank.
So even the quote-unquote new AI search engines are using the same ranking systems that we're familiar with?
To a large extent, yes. And, when you consider that ChatGPT uses Bing's index, optimizing for ChatGPT is essentially the same as optimizing for Bing.
Huh, that's interesting. So all this hype around AI in search is kind of overshadowing the fact that Google has been using AI for at least a decade.
Absolutely. Features like featured snippets, which summarize information at the top of search results. They've been around for a while.
So it's not entirely new?
No, it's not a complete revolution.
But an evolution.
Right.
So what does this evolution mean for the average person who's just trying to navigate the world of search?
Well, I think the most significant change isn't in the technology itself, but in how users interact with information. We're moving from a keyword-based search approach to a more conversational one.
So instead of typing in a string of keywords, people are asking questions.
Yeah, just like they're talking to a real person.
And this has major implications for how we approach SEO and content creation.
For sure.
So it's not about keywords anymore. It's about the intent behind the search.
Exactly.
What is the person really looking for?
Right.
So how do we optimize for these conversational AI searches? What practical steps can we take?
It requires a shift in our approach to content creation. We need to start thinking like our audience,
Yeah.
anticipating your questions, and structuring our content to provide clear and concise answers.
So we're almost like having a conversation with our audience through our content.
That's a great way to put it. And actually, AI can play a helpful role in this process. There are AI tools out there that can analyze search queries and identify the underlying intent, which helps us tailor our content accordingly.
So AI can actually be a valuable tool.
Oh, for sure.
It can help us better understand our audience
Yeah.
and create more relevant content. So AI can help automate tedious tasks, analyze data, and uncover insights that would be challenging for us to find on our own.
Right.
But we still need that human touch,
Absolutely.
the creativity and critical thinking.
That AI can't replicate.
So it's all about finding the right balance.
Yes.
Speaking of balance, with this shift toward conversational AI search, is there still a place for long-form content? Or should we be focusing on shorter, more direct answers?
That's a question a lot of content creators are grappling with. And I think the answer is, it depends. For simple queries like checking the weather or looking up a definition, a short and concise answer is sufficient. But when someone is seeking in-depth information on a complex topic, they're looking for comprehensive and authoritative content.
So there's still a strong demand for well-researched, in-depth content.
Absolutely. In fact, this type of content might be even more valuable now. You know, when someone is looking for detailed information, they want to be sure they're getting it from a trustworthy source.
So long-form content can really shine here. So it's not about choosing one format over the other.
Right.
Understanding the intent behind the search.
Exactly.
And creating content that best serves that intent.
Yes.
This has been a really insightful discussion. It seems like this whole AI search revolution isn't about the death of SEO, but a significant shift in focus.
Yeah.
We're moving from a keyword-centric approach to an audience-centric one.
You hit the nail on the head.
So it's about understanding and serving the real people behind those searches,
Yes.
not just trying to please the algorithms.
Exactly.
This deep dive has really shed light on the nuances of AI search and its implications for the future of SEO.
It's always a pleasure to explore these evolving landscapes with you.
Your insights are incredibly valuable. Before we wrap up, I have one final thought for our listeners. Something to consider as they navigate this AI-driven world. You know, if AI is becoming increasingly adept at summarizing information and providing quick answers, what does that mean for the future of in-depth content creation? Is there still a need for those long-form articles and blog posts? And if so, how can we make sure they stand out in this increasingly competitive landscape?
Those are excellent questions, questions that deserve a deep dive of their own. Perhaps that's something we can explore in a future episode.
I'm definitely up for that. It seems we have much more to uncover in this ever-evolving world of search and content creation. But for now, let's recap the key takeaways from today's discussion.
I think the most important takeaway is that AI is influencing the search landscape. But it's not a complete revolution. Google continues to prioritize high-quality, audience-focused content. While AI overviews and tools like ChatGPT are changing how we interact with information, the fundamentals of SEO remain incredibly relevant. Creating valuable content and building authority are as important as ever.
So it's not about abandoning everything we know about SEO, but adapting and evolving alongside these advancements.
Precisely. It's about embracing the opportunities AI presents, while staying true to the core principles of creating high-quality content.
This deep dive has been incredibly enlightening. Thanks for joining us today. And a special thank you to our expert for sharing your expertise with us.
It's been my pleasure. I always enjoy these conversations.
And to our listeners, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the rise of AI in search. Are you excited about the possibilities? Or are you feeling a bit apprehensive? Share your questions and insights with us. We're all learning and navigating this new landscape together.
The future of search is being written right now, and it's a collaborative effort. We need to stay curious, keep experimenting, and never stop learning.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep creating amazing content.
So it requires a shift in how we approach content creation. We need to start thinking like our audience, anticipating their questions, and structuring our content to provide really clear, concise, and engaging answers.
So we're almost having a conversation with our audience through our content.
Yeah, That's a great way to put it. And actually, AI can be helpful with this. There are tools that can analyze search queries and identify the underlying intent, which
Yeah.
helps us tailor our content.
So AI can be valuable.
For sure.
It can help us understand our audience
Yeah.
and create more relevant content.
Exactly.
So it can help automate tasks, analyze data,
Right.
uncover insights that would be hard to find on our own,
Yeah.
but we still need that human touch,
Absolutely.
that creativity and critical thinking.
Which AI can't replicate.
So it's all about balance.
Yes.
Speaking of balance, with this shift towards conversational AI search, is there still a place for long-form content? Or should we just focus on shorter, more direct answers?
That's the question a lot of content creators are thinking about. And I think the answer is, it depends. If it's a simple query, like checking the weather or looking up a definition, then a short answer is fine. But for someone who wants in-depth information on a more complex topic, they're going to be looking for comprehensive and authoritative content.
So there's still a strong demand for well-researched content.
Absolutely. I think this type of content may even be more valuable now, because when someone is looking for that kind of detailed information, they want to make sure they're getting it from a trustworthy source.
So that's where long form can really shine.
Yeah.
It's not about choosing one format or the other.
Right.
It's about understanding the intent
Exactly.
and creating content that meets that intent.
Yeah.
So this has been a really insightful discussion. It seems like AI search isn't the death of SEO, but more of a shift in focus
Yeah.
from keywords.
To the audience.
You got it.
It's about understanding the people behind the searches,
Yes.
not just the algorithms.
Yeah. This has really been helpful in understanding the nuances of AI search and how it will impact the future of SEO.
I always enjoy these conversations.
Your insights are so valuable. Before we wrap up, I have one more thought for the listeners. If AI is getting better at summarizing information and giving quick answers, what does that mean for in-depth content creation? Is there still a need for long-form articles? And if so, how do we make those stand out?
Those are great questions. Maybe that's something we can dive into on another episode.
I'd love to. It seems like there's so much more to learn about search and content creation. But for now, let's go over the key takeaways from today.
The main takeaway is that AI is influencing search. But it's not a complete revolution. Google still prioritizes high-quality content for its audience. So while AI overviews and ChatGPT are changing things, the fundamentals of SEO remain the same. Creating good content and building authority is still super important.
So we're not abandoning SEO, we're adapting to the changes.
Exactly. It's about using the opportunities AI gives us and staying true to those core principles of creating high-quality content.
This has been really eye-opening. Thanks for joining us. And a special thanks to our expert for their expertise.
It's been a pleasure.
To our listeners,
Yeah.
we want to hear from you about AI and search. Are you excited about it? Or are you a little nervous? Let us know. We're all learning about this together.
Yeah, the future of search is being written right now, and we need to work together. We need to stay curious and experiment and never stop learning.
Well said. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep creating amazing content. So it's interesting to think, AI can summarize complex topics so quickly. Does that diminish the value of long-form articles and posts? Or does it actually increase the need for that human perspective?
That's a great question. And it gets at what makes us human. Our ability to think critically, connect different ideas, offer insights. AI can summarize facts, but it can't do that higher level thinking.
So even though AI can provide those quick answers, we still need those in-depth articles that explore the nuances.
Exactly. AI can give you the what. Humans can give you the why. We can provide that context and analysis.
That makes sense. It's not just about the information. It's about how we think about it.
Yeah.
But how do we make sure those in-depth pieces stand out?
That's where creativity comes in.
Yeah.
And storytelling. We need to craft compelling narratives, bring in our own experiences, offer a unique perspective.
So we need to go beyond just the facts,
Yes.
engage the reader,
Exact.
make them feel something.
Right.
We have to use our strengths as humans
Yeah.
to create that valuable content that AI can't.
Exactly.
This has been a fantastic deep dive into AI and SEO. We've explored so much.
Yeah, we have.
What are some of the challenges? What are the opportunities? What questions should content creators be asking themselves?
It's a lot to think about.
It is. And we've only just scratched the surface
I think so.
to our listeners.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you. What do you think about AI and search? How are you adapting?
Right. How are you changing your strategies?
What do you think the future holds for SEO? We're all in this together. Let's learn from each other.
The future of search is being written right now. It's a conversation we all need to be a part of.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep creating that amazing content.